Question of the day. Do I need a CRM as a business networker? Absolutely. Let's talk about what that tech stack looks like. Let's go. I'm Mark Perrone with Rethink Revenue. I focus on the marketing and sales side of business processes built into CRMs. I've worked with over 150 CRMs. We all know I specialize in HubSpot. Today, we're going to go over optimizing your CRM for networking. I've got a few little organizational tips I'm going to give you guys on the networker's tech stack. If you guys have that, then you should come to the room. I'm going to cover a little bit on LinkedIn, a little bit in email, and then how you organize your properties inside of HubSpot if you have it. So join me for that.
You are the GOAT today. We're just going to go with that.
What?
You are the GOAT today.
All right. Awesome. I love it.
Which personality do we get today?
All of them.
Oh, okay.
Every day.
All at once?
Yep. All at the same time. Good luck. It's a lot to handle. So going through the networker's tech stack, is everybody HubSpot enabled? Yes, 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 yes. Linda, you're cool with using the HubSpot concept?
Yeah, we'll go with that for now.
Okay.
You know,
right.
Some of the challenges that I am up against with that, but there's benefit to it to getting the information out of LinkedIn.
Yep, 100%. And just so we're all clear, Linda is a specialist in go high level CRM and kind of marketing into things. So that's her go-to CRM. I don't like to stifle anybody's product that is selling something parallel to what the HubSpot product is, because CRMs all have their place in the world, right? Okay, so let's get into this a little bit. All right, so the HubSpot people, that's all of you. Do you have the Chrome extension for Gmail?
I don't use Gmail, so I have it.
Yeah.
I have it synced with Outlook.
With Outlook, okay.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, how well does that work for you on Outlook?
9.5.
Yeah.
It works pretty well.
Okay.
It works when it works, and sometimes it doesn't. With that.
Right. Well, let the record show it's a Microsoft problem, not a HubSpot problem, because of the way the plugin is enabled. And
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you have to do is re-register the plugin every once in
It
a while.
logs itself out every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
As
So-
long as
Oh,
you,
wait,
but it's gotten to the point where it pops up and it tells me when it's not talking to the other. So I'm like, okay, well, that works.
That works. That's good. Linda, what were you going to say?
Was it a Chrome extension for HubSpot or a Chrome extension for Outlook?
It depends upon which version of Outlook you have. If you're using the web Outlook, I think it's a Chrome extension. I can't remember. I always forget because there's so many versions of it. There's 3 versions of it for Outlook. There's 365, there's web, and then there's desktop. So it's different on all 3 of them.
It's massively confusing is what it is.
It's horrible. And it's a Microsoft thing. It is not a HubSpot thing or a Google thing, just so we're clear. Okay.
What do you
All right.
really think about it?
I fucking hate it, to be honest with you. Anytime anybody has Outlook and I have to configure that thing, it takes me an extra 20 minutes. I can get through all integrations, deploying HubSpot, and have it working very well in the same amount of time it gets me to hook it up to Outlook. It is really annoying. I still get it done in under an hour, though. It's pretty impressive. I'll tell you that. I just did it with David, just so we're clear. Okay, so let's share my screen real quick. We're going to start in Gmail. And Outlook, I'm going to use Gmail as the example, but the concepts that we're going for are going to be true across the board. Okay. So don't worry about the branding on this one. Okay. So first and foremost, I've got HubSpot enabled in my Chrome extension up here. And then I'm going to go to an email, and you guys are going to see on the right-hand side of the screen, I've got my HubSpot configured with my properties in a sequence. Right? This is optimized for the fastest manipulation of the data out of Gmail. This is reflected in my HubSpot instance. The same order that appears here on the right-hand side is the same order that we have them in HubSpot. Okay? The reason why I've configured it this way is because when I'm in a networking meeting, I have to move very, very quickly. And most people have emailed me at some point in time. So the very first thing that I do when I'm in a networking meeting is I'll go to my Gmail and I'll enter in an email address up top. So like if I wanted to search for Diana, because for whatever reason, I need to update her profile. I would go straight in here and go ahead and fill in her CRM because I know what it is. Diana, are you subscribed to my YouTube channel?
Of course I am.
Perfect.
What kind of question is that?
I don't want to assume, not can't have too much ego. The concept of updating these records happens when I save this down here. So I've just updated 2 fields on my CRM very quickly, and I can move on to the next person, which I'm going to go back to David because there was a field there that wasn't filled in. So I'm going to go to David. Oops, I need to spell it right. Richardson. See if he responded. Go to David. He is an H7 member and he is now using HubSpot. So I've updated those 2 fields. I'm going to go ahead and save them. Don't know if he's subscribed to my YouTube channel, so I'm not going to fill that in. And I don't have his virtual meeting link. Now, if he had his virtual meeting link in his signature, so I'm going to go back and search for David again. Let's see, this is an alignable email. I'm gonna check one more time just to be comprehensive. 3 is a good number for me. I don't have it, so I can't update it, right? Well, the idea here is that I fundamentally target one thing in this whole concept of profile. Past, first name, last name, email. Those are fundamental. That's how you build contact records in HubSpot. First name, last name, email are imperative to have. Okay. Virtual meeting link. You should always be targeting virtual meeting links. All right. This is a tip, hint, trick on setting meetings. Email sucks to set meetings with, right? I send an email. Hey, I'd like to meet with you. 2 days later, you guys have all heard this story. Somebody responds to that. Tuesday at 3, 2 days later. No, that doesn't work for me. Friday at 4, 2 days later. No, that doesn't work for me. Slows down everything that we're doing. Right? So focusing on the virtual email or virtual meeting link is imperative, especially in the virtual networking environment. Move that. I always forget how to spell your name. Move that to as close to the top as you can so that it's visible in your email. How do you move it, Mark? Well, I'll show you. So I'm going to go to HubSpot. I'm going to scroll down here and view all properties. This button exists.
And the part that people always miss is you have to go into an individual contact, then scroll down. Everybody wants to do it on either the preview screen or what you actually have to click into the contact and go all the way to the bottom.
That's correct. So, and the other tip here is the property has to be created for you to be able to move it. This is very specific. I can't go in here and view all properties if the property doesn't exist. So if I put in, I wish I could spell munchkin because that was the first thing, the first word I thought of. We'll put in just kind, right? There's no property in my system that has the word kind in it. But if I go to LinkedIn, you see I have a bunch of properties with LinkedIn in it. So it's a quick search. It's a global quick search. If I want to add any one of these, I'd add it to my view. I'd click this. It pops in down at the bottom over here. A lot of times you get this because you're going to click on the first one that pops up. And then you have to promote it up, right? So I'm going to bring it up to right here. When I go back to my profile, you're going to see that LinkedIn industry is now at the top. Does everybody see this?
Is that now going to apply to every single contact?
You lady are very smart. I was just going to say that. So every contact record from now on is going to have that reflected the same way. Also, when I go back to Gmail and refresh, you're going to notice it's now at the top here also. Guess what happened on your cell phone too?
So the way this appears here, the way this appears in the CRM itself is the way it appears in all these little sidebars.
That's correct. And the phone application.
Yeah.
But when you move it in one place, it's moved in all 3 places. So that update is universal. Okay. So now that we're on this, in Diana Maureen's case, if I was networking at a virtual networking meeting and I'm seeing this cascade in the chat and everything's going on, I need to start copying and pasting just the email address and just the virtual meeting link. You can come back to first name, last name later. The reason why you grab email, this is really specific. First, it's the unique identifier. Somebody tell me what a unique identifier is.
You can only have one of them. And each one is individual to that person.
That's right. So it deduplicates by email address. So if you do get an email from somebody and that somebody's already in your system, it's going to pull over information that isn't in the CRM to add it to your CRM. Okay. The other reason why email is important is when you're getting business emails, it's creating the company record for you automatically. You don't have to enter in the person's email address and then go capture where Diana works. It fills this information in for you. HubSpot filled in all the properties. I don't have all the properties up that need to be shown here, but it fills in revenue. It fills in company body count, the people that work there. It fills in a few other little like location. It'll fill in address if that's available, zip code. It gives you all that information automatically. It hits its own database and comes back and returns it. That said, when I put in a business email address for the first time, I usually look at the company and it takes, 20 seconds to refresh. So if you don't see the company pop in right off the bat, when you hit refresh, it will pop in. So don't think it's not working if you don't see it there at first with a new contact. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Any questions about this part? All right, perfect. So who has link match? Show of hands. All right.
Hey, Mark, I do have a question. When I'm in LinkedIn and I'm using link match and everything, one of the things I've noticed is that a lot of my contacts, when I'm putting them in from LinkedIn, I'm seeing their personal emails, but because they don't have a work email that's listed on LinkedIn. So how do I make the distinction between personal email versus work email, and how do I use that well?
So why does LinkedIn only show personal emails? Think about it. Anybody want to chime in on that?
Because your profile belongs to you and not the company.
Also, traditionally LinkedIn has been used for job searches. So if I put my personal email address there, someone who's interested in soliciting me for work is going to send me the email. It's not going to go to my Verizon email that's going to show that I'm looking for a job, right? So the concept of the email address is remember this, GDPR and canned spam are real, but because each member has allowed LinkedIn to project the email address to anybody that they first level connect with, that is consent to use the email address. In the legal term, it is absolutely up for you to be able to email them. Now, a lot of people would say that's black hat stuff. I err on the side of it's white hat stuff because consent is implied when they give that permission. So you can feel free to use that email address.
I have no problem using the email address, but I am finding that when it goes into my HubSpot, it's putting it in. And I didn't know if there was a better way in HubSpot to differentiate between work email and personal email, especially for the ones I do have both of.
Yep. So let me make sure. Let me go to Diana. I think I have 2 email addresses for Diana. I do. I have multiple email addresses for Diana. So inside of HubSpot, you can actually go in and you can set the primary, make primary. So if you get a secondary email address or if you get an email address the first time that's personal, and then you can find the professional, you can switch that and make it the primary. So I have a historical record of all of Diana's emails here. Notice I don't have her personal in here because she's never given it to me. I didn't need to hunt for it. She emailed me a long time ago from one of these other ones, and that's what I captured first. Well, as time went forward, I got more and more profiles built that I had to merge Diana, and I might still have to. If she had a secondary profile in here, I would just merge them together and it would put the 2 email addresses on the same contact record. You still have to go in and as a human look at it and see if it's the primary, but you've got consent if you got it from LinkedIn already. So if they send you from a work email, then capture that and then promote it to the primary. Make sense?
Yep, makes sense.
Okay. So there's a lesson in here that's a little deeper. There's some things that a lot of people don't assume. You got to understand the permissions on LinkedIn. When you have the choice to not show your email address to first level connections, and some people turn that off. Those are the people that aren't giving you consent to use their email addresses. Now, I do not advise you to spam the people that you strip from LinkedIn. Don't do it. Now, your definition of spam is probably a little different than mine. I curate my audience. All of my lists are very, very specific to information that is specific to them, right? I don't newsletter or snoozeletter, as it's been talked about in the realms of the people who hate newsletters. I don't do that because I don't blanket send things. I didn't get double opt-in permission for stuff like that, in my opinion, so I don't use it that way. If somebody goes to my website and says, show me your wonderful newsletter, that'd be the person that I would send newsletters to. But when I do communications on HubSpot updates or tech stack for networkers to H7 people, I'm very specific with who I choose to send those emails to because I feel like it's pertinent information for their specific vantage point on the world. Make sense? Okay.
So if they opted in for a specific thing, then you're sending them email related to that specific thing that they 100%. Opted in.
That's correct.
Are you sending more than one or just the initial though?
It depends upon the circumstance. Some people get one from me every 3 months. Some people get it every week. Like everybody from Tech Corner gets an email from us every week, right? But it's very specific to this meeting. I'm staying top of mind with you guys. I send out that email follow-up 4 days after for a reason, right? So you fill out the form on Thursday, I send you the email on Mondays. Every Monday, you're going to be getting a Tech Corner meeting that says, this is what you took away. This is your accountability. We've geared this for the perspective that the people want to see from us, right? You still see it as oh, Mark emailed me. Hopefully that's how you see it. I forgot about that, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, like, God damn it, this dude, I see him everywhere. The concept of emailing with purpose is important because if we want to stay top of mind, we don't want to encourage the unsubscribe button. Right. If people find value in the information you're sending them, they're going to consume it, they're going to open your emails, and they're not going to unsubscribe. Follow me? Okay. All right, so let's go to link match. This is the integrated process. Another way that you can do your networking stuff. I'll use Mark Crowley. Actually, I'll use Sam because Sam, you've probably updated your profile recently. And again, your last name is a nightmare for me because I can't spell F-E-L-E.
Or type.
Shh. You technical people. That is not you. Did I spell it wrong? Do you have it Samantha in here?
She's muted. She's trying to tell you.
Mark, that is me. I'm there.
What? That's you?
Yes,
That's me.
Women, we change lots of things. We change
Let
our
her hair down
You
for the
were
picture.
right. I updated my profile.
Yeah. All right. So here's the trick on this. Link match does this for you. It tells me you're not in my CRM. It's also parsing all the people who also viewed your profile for me and letting me know who's in my CRM and who's not in my CRM. Okay. Now that I see that you're not in here, I'm going to go ahead and add you to HubSpot. Now I've pre-configured link match to not only order the things I find most important, but I've chosen which data points I want parsed. And it takes a minute to go through this information, but it scanned your profile. And now there's some updates that I need to do. When I do these updates in link match, I know you use, yes, you do use a CRM. That CRM is HubSpot. This is reading all of the picks that I chose to put up in my HubSpot instance. So if I need to add some picks to it, this will kind of reveal that. If you use like a different CRM, I can't think of one right off the top of my head, like Dynamics. I don't have Dynamics in there. I don't run into a lot of Dynamics people right now, so I don't have that in there. If you use Dynamics, I will go add it to the pick list on the property in my CRM, and then moving forward, that would always be there. You use HubSpot, you're an H7 member. I'm going to check to see if you're LinkedIn Premium. If you were, you would have a little gold thing right here indicating that. You're not, so I'm not going to check that. Female, this is a canned one. I've been using it here recently, and source is other for you. I'll use LinkedIn Champion right now. And then the rest of these are kind of just parsed in for me. So the things that it pulls from LinkedIn is pretty heady. All these properties are mapped over to my CRM. All of this stuff is filled in if it is present. I'm gonna hit create. It's gonna go read the profile. And I just was in a virtual meeting with you. I looked you up on LinkedIn and now updated my CRM. If you don't have link match, using the email piece is relatively simple. When you get a little more sophisticated with your searching, you could be in your CRM to fill in information. If you want to do it as quickly as you possibly can, using link match to update your CRM is paramount. So now when I go over to my contact, you're in here. LinkedIn profile came over, the email that's present there, and I probably already have you in here. I'll see if I need to merge you because I think you're already in here. You are.
You're on a timer now too.
Yeah, I am. I'm good. So now I've merged that, and all the information that was on the other profile is now present on the one that I merged with. And I got your little picture up here now, which I'll never recognize you when I see it later too, because of the lipstick. The concept of updating your profile is really simple this way. It's fast. Once you think about your exercises that you need to go through to get information from virtual networking group, you can populate things very, very quickly. What did I say is the most important data point to get past first name, last name, email address?
Virtual meeting link.
Who has the virtual meeting link property in their CRM right now? Sam, you got to get that in there. Build the property. Okay.
But be careful when you're building properties, because I keep doing it, not thinking it all the way through. It's what do I need it for this second? And then I'm like, why did I make it that I can only pick one when I need to be able to pick more than one? So now I got to go back and fix all that. And it's a pain in the behind.
Hi, my name is Mark Perrone. I'm a CRM consultant and I'm for hire. If you would like to hire me to do that strategy for you, I can help you out. You, on the other hand, should just listen to some things that I have to say instead of just doing things.
But you did it with me that day, and now I have to change it. So what's not? You were on the phone with me. We were on a Zoom call.
Touche. Okay, so we've got just a few more seconds here. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, suggestions about any of this stuff?
I'll try and make sure that Lee has the virtual meeting link property as well, because if I don't have it, he might not have it.
It's global. It's global. So if you have it, if it's in the database, everybody has access to that property.